Today is November 29th. Today's quote is entitled, Being Real About Being Real. On the one hand, we may understand and feel a certain way about Krishna consciousness, and thus want to act in alignment with those understandings and feelings. Yet on the other hand, we realize that we are not ready to perfectly act in those ways due to our conditioning. So we need to create a balance between both sides, something that reflects our understanding and desires for advanced levels of Krishna consciousness, along with a grounded approach to where we are at. This is where a lot of us get ourselves into trouble, because we understand something. It should be this way. Particularly, it means me. Either I should be this way or this way or this way. And also, I want to be that way. I feel it, so I understand this is the correct action. And I feel like I really want to be that person. But I have this other side, which is my conditioned side. Like my conditioned side can't fully adopt that way of thinking, and I can't always even feel that way. The feeling is more like it's something that I really would like to become, but I'm not there yet. But sometimes because I think it, I understand it, and I feel it, I think that's my qualification. But it's not always the qualification. Prabhupada quoted as saying, first deserve, then desire. So sometimes I desire something I'm not really qualified to achieve, and it becomes confusing because I desire it, because I understand it's right, then I think I'm entitled to go for it. But we also have to take into consideration what is our qualification? On what level are we conditioned? Am I lifting too much weight, so to speak? Am I going to pull a muscle? Yes, I'd like to lift 200 pounds, but I can't. But I understand it would be good. I would like to do it, but I'm not yet able to do it. So then I have to bring myself down to another level, and I have to live on the level I'm at so I can build my strength up to be able to do it. And one example we find, and there may be many examples which you can think of in your own life, is that many of our young men were inspired for a renounced life. But later on in their life, they couldn't do it. But in their heart, they wanted to. In their minds, they wanted to. It was attractive. It was the right thing. They understood this will simplify my life. And so they made the effort, but they weren't capable of doing it yet. Their conditioning was such that it wasn't possible for them. So they had to somehow find a balance between this desire for a renounced life and this still conditioned side where I'm not able to achieve this level, and kind of synthesize it into something which is real for that particular person. So what is real for you? You take what your ambitions are, you take the realities of your conditioning, and you find a balance. Perhaps you could call it a compromise, somewhere where that middle point is, where you can be steady by acknowledging your conditioning, and you can be optimistic with what you really want, but not foolishly optimistic and try to achieve something prematurely. So we can always dream, but we have to deal with our reality. So what I'd like you to do is think about your life in terms of what it is you're trying to achieve in Krishna consciousness. At the same time, are you neglecting an awareness of where you're really at, which would make that thing you want to achieve not really possible or realistic in the present time. And how would you synthesize those two? What would be the proper consciousness and the proper activity and the proper way to deal with the synthesis of both of those? So that's something to consider. So try to think in your life how this situation is going on. I like to be this way. This is the right way. But I have these other needs that would prevent me from immediately achieving this, but at the same time I don't want to give up that goal. Hare Krishna.